Hey guys, it's Deborah again with Sew in the Sanctuary. Thank you so much for joining us again. And if you're new, thank you for joining us as well. I'm so glad you're here. All right, for the ingredients today for chili, we're going to be using the organic Simply Nature brand. It's the 100% grass-fed ground beef from Aldi. I have our Worcestershire sauce, some garlic powder, some chili powder. We're going to be adding some chili beans, as well as some diced tomatoes with green chilies. I've got our chicken broth, our yellow and red bell pepper, as well as one large onion. I'm also going to be adding some fresh peeled garlic. I went ahead and chopped up all of my vegetables here. You have them nicely displayed. I put all of the leftovers that I did not need for my compost in that bowl. I'm going to go ahead and brown my ground beef, make sure it's nice and done. I like to get that nice brown caramelized look to it. And I'm going to go ahead and put everything in my food processor. It makes everything so simple. Don't have to take so much time cutting everything up. Here you can see I've already added in my ground beef. I'm going to add the vegetables that I just chopped up in the food processor. I'm adding all of this into my big Dutch oven pot. I make sure I get everything in there. I'm going to add those chili beans. I think I'm just going to use 1 can today instead of the 2 that I had originally thought. I'm adding in 2 cans of the diced tomatoes. And of course, I am going to start adding my seasoning after I do my chicken broth here. I am adding the entire carton of chicken broth. That's what's going to give it the nice flavor. I'm not really going to measure the Worcestershire sauce. I'm just putting in as much as I think that I need, not too much though. And then I'm going to add some salt and some pepper. The pepper gives it a nice flavor. And then I'm going to be adding my chili powder. I'm just going to kind of measure some out in the palm of my hand, toss in the Dutch oven, and I'm going to do the same for my garlic powder. And then I'm going to give everything a nice stir. Make sure that it is nice and mixed up very, very well. And then I'm going to put it on my stove, and it's going to simmer for about 30 minutes. So I have the chili on the stove. It is simmering, and I'm going to let it simmer for probably 45 minutes. I think that'll be good enough, and we'll be eating dinner at a decent time tonight. And I thought that my kids would love to have some cornbread with this. I don't think that Robbie and I will necessarily eat it, but we thought that they would like to have some. So we're going to make a pan of cornbread. Super, super easy. Anyone can do this, and it is delicious. All right, so we have our iron skillet. I'm going to pour just a tad bit of oil here, and I'm going to use a napkin to just simply make sure that I put the oil evenly all over my pan. The oil here is very, very important. You want to do the oil first thing because you do not want your cornbread to stick, and if you don't put enough oil, when it comes time for you to pull out your cornbread from the oven, it's gonna be a hot mess, and you want it to be able to flip very, very easily. So I'm gonna go ahead and preheat my oven. We're gonna do it to 450. All right, so while that's preheating, let's get to it. Add our ingredients, super easy, and you will love this recipe. All right, so I'm gonna go ahead and add my 2 cups of, this is Martha White cornmeal. So we're gonna go ahead and add that to my pot here. This is 2 cups. You do want 1 large egg. So we're gonna add that. You want 1 1/3 cup of buttermilk. And then you definitely don't want to forget this step. It is 1/4 cup of vegetable oil. And you're going to give it a good stir. I like to give it a stir with my whisk. Make sure that it's nice and mixed. You could do this with a mixer, but in my opinion, it's just too much trouble. So I just do a hand stir with my whisk. That way I don't have to worry about the cleanup with all that comes involved with a mixer. So you just want to give this a really good stir. And then usually whenever I am making cornbread, I like to stir it really, really well and then just let it sit in my mixing bowl before I actually pour it into my iron skillet. So I will do that when my buzzer goes off for the oven, letting me know that it's ready. It is preheated. I'll simply pour this mix into the skillet. And you want this to cook until you see it getting a nice toasted brown color on top, which usually takes about 30 minutes or so. So this is well mixed. I'm gonna let it sit here on the counter just like so beside my skillet. When my timer goes off, that lets me know that we're ready to pour this in and pop it in the oven. All right, so we have our delicious bowl of warm chili, and we have a wonderful piece of cornbread that we're gonna add some butter to, and just, it's gonna be so yummy. So yes, so I hope that you enjoyed watching this video. Give us some thumbs up if you did, and until next time, don't forget to sow your seed so that you can create your wonderful sanctuary within your home. Thanks guys for watching. See you next time. Bye.